Just want to kick things off today by saying a massive thank you to the 51 people currently supporting the channel over on Patreon. We've just had a record month over there. We're getting very close to our first milestone, which will be awesome. And I am actively trying to come up with some ideas for some more fun stuff to involve everyone in over there. I'm thinking a game night. I just don't know what game, when, or how we'll do it. Let me know down in the comments or over on Patreon how you think that should be structured. But just massive thanks to everyone who's involved. And if you are interested in getting involved in the Patreon yourself, you can do that at patreon.com/lollujo. Otherwise, just carry on enjoying the videos for free. We don't hide anything over there anyway, and just watching the videos is massive support in itself. So, in fact, change of plan. A big thank you to all of you. Thanks for watching. There is still a video to come. That wasn't the sign-off. Hello and welcome to part 7 of the Spanish leg of the Expedition of Gold. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Real Madrid in La Liga, and then at home against Arsenal in the first knockout round, first leg Champions League thing. I know we don't really care about the Champions League, but it's Arsenal. They were our enemy when we were at Tottenham. We have to show you at least one of these games, and a Champions League run would always be fun anyway. Since you were last with me, we've only played one game. It was a 4-0 win against Malaga. And the league situation is thus. We're currently 5 points behind Barcelona, but we do have a game in hand. That game in hand is, I guess they call it the Madrid derby. I don't really know. But we're playing Real Madrid at Real Madrid right now. We can close that gap on Barcelona to 2 points, but that's quite a big ask when Real are one of the other teams who are challenging for these Champions League spots with us. And I said it in the last episode, I'll say it again right now. We've got to be winning these big games if we're going to have any chance of making this another one-season wonder here at... Hold on, let me try and do it right. Athletico? Is that how you say it? People keep telling me off for saying Athletico. I don't have a Spanish tongue. I don't know if I can say it the way I'm supposed to be able to say it. Was that better, though? Athletico? It feels like I'm muting myself partway through the word. I think I'm just saying it. I can't speak these exotic words. Our team for this game, though, and we have picked up an injury. Razvan Moldovan has picked up a knock. He's going to be out with, what's he got? Something. It doesn't even tell me what's wrong with him. Damaged neck. He's only out for a day or so. Well, he's been out for about a week. He missed the last game. But he's not quite fit enough to be in the starting 11 today. So our team is Abdul Rahman in goal. Nuhad, Calvello, Herrera and Sanchez as our defence. With Fantan, Arnaut and Camajo in midfield. And Oscar in behind Pirani and Umdouli. The strikers are starting to score goals again, as we saw in the 4-0 win against Malaga, but as we saw in the last episode, they're not doing it consistently, and they're certainly not doing it in these big games against big teams. Important tactical distinction from what we have been doing recently, and I've been getting some stick for, is we're abandoning this idea of counter-attacking defensive nonsense. We're going to try and Kev this. We're going to try and Kev La Liga. I am wary of doing it because I'm not sure our team is good enough to do it. But if we're going to win the league, we're going to have to win it playing the way we know how to play. So we're going to be on control. We're going to be on fluid. We're going to try and out-attack every team we play. And if there's 10 goals in this game and we don't quite manage to win it, then so be it. Is that my Ribeiro who's just put that cross in? If it is, I'm going to be so sad. Why won't it let me click on him? We're 1-0 down, but I'm more sad about the fact that could be the Ribeiro left-back I had at Tottenham who's just created the assist rather than the fact that we're 1-0 down in a local derby against a title rival. I need to see if that's my... Look at him, he shouldn't be happy. He's my Ribeiro. Ribeiro. No? We'll go in this way then. Ribeiro. Players. Oh, it is. What's he gone and done that for? Why would he do that? And why would he then get an assist? That makes me sad. The tactical nonsense could come back and bite me now. Being 1-0 down, it does kind of cause a bit of a problem unless we can go and grab an equaliser fairly quickly. Cross comes in, but it is cleared. But we are still on the attack. This is positive. Oscar's in, and that's 2 good chances that have fallen to Oscar now in today's game, and he's bottled both of them. He's not quite the Oscar that we had at Tottenham, the all-conquering Oscar, who I guess had a lot of space created for him to play into by the fact that he had Iribarren, Wells, Vendrig, players like that playing in front of him, who the defenders were worried about, leaving space for Oscar to operate in, whereas our front two here at Atletico, not quite as threatening, although they are both considered world-class players, according to our most recent thing that comes through on the news reports, but they're not in the same league as Iribarren, are they? They're not world class. They're not Ballon d'Or winning world class like Wells and Iribarren are, and we're 2-0 down. And I'm second guessing myself again. Should we have come in with counter-attacking? But then, as a couple of people have said in recent days, it's not enough just to change my 4-3-1-2 tactic that is an attacking tactic. It's not enough to just put that on a counter-attacking instruction. If we're going to do counter-attacking, we need a counter-attacking tactic. Our squad's so small, and I sold all the wingers, we don't really have the players to come up with a different tactic. The best I could do is maybe a 4-1-3-2, but I don't want to sacrifice Oscar to bring in a holding midfield player. That seems silly. So if that's the mentality that we've got, then I guess we just need to attack and accept the fact that every now and again we're going to get absolutely thumped. We saw it with Tottenham. Before we went on our invincible season, before we went on our massive long unbeaten run, the last game we lost was 6-1 against Man City, who were the reigning Premier League champions. Sometimes, no matter how good you are, you take a thumping when you play the way we play. But we didn't change. We carried on attacking. We carried on playing the way that we knew how to play, and we went from a 6-1 defeat against our title rivals to undefeated for the next 45 games, European champions, because we didn't change the way we play. I don't know why I didn't learn from that and learn that that's the right thing to do. Why have I now spent most of the first half of this season faffing around being afraid of teams and counter-attacking and defending and all this silliness when we're at least as good personnel-wise as any other team in this league? Rayo Vallecano are the European champions and they're down in 5th place, and I think the only reason they're the European champions is because we bottled the Champions League final with Bayern last season, doing exactly the same thing. We didn't go there and attack, and I think, and it's going to be a difficult one, but I think I'm going to force myself to just attack from now on. At least until I get sacked because of constant defeats or something. I don't know. We've got a penalty. We've got the chance to equalise here. Obviously, a draw is probably not enough because of that gap that's opening up between us and Barcelona. But a draw is darn sight better than a defeat against Real Madrid. And if nothing else, maintains the gap between us and them so that we don't drop down to 3rd. But we've managed to miss a penalty. And it was a terrible penalty as well. It was weak. It was straight at the keeper. And I am a little bit worried that we just don't quite have the spark that we need to play the Kev way. And when we play against weaker teams, we just destroy them, as we have against Malaga. When we play against teams who are any good, they just sort of keep our star players quiet. Like Mduli's got 20 goals this season. He's second in the top scorers chart in the Liga. But he's not a big game player at all. And he just disappears in games like this. We're going to bring Keita on, but, I mean, he's not very good. He's scored like 2 goals all season. But Mduli's just not turned up. Pierani, just not a consistent enough goal scorer. And Oscar's just not the man he was. He's here in a big game where he used to shine on a 6.6 with all these sitters that he's missing. I mean, what's that? That's not the Oscar that we know and love. Keita's in. Can he? I mean, no. He just, rather than taking it on and setting up a proper chance, hits it from range because he's nervous, because he's not any good at finishing. And we are definitely missing. We're missing an Iribarren. And really, Kev, if you had a 50 goal a season striker, you'd be a better team. Who'd have thought? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my tactical view on things. We've taken Oscar off as well now. That's 2 of our major stars have come off because they've just not turned up in this game. So Brian obviously was at Real Madrid for a couple of years, so he might be a little bit more up for this than Oscar was. I don't really know what's up with Mduli. He's been at Atletico for 12 seasons. You'd think he'd be up for the local derby. Apparently not. But Sir Brian might have a point to prove after being released on a free transfer at the end of last season. So hopefully he can go and grab a couple of goals and win us the game. Keita's in, and it's straight at the keeper. We've had 4 clear-cut chances now, but so have Real Madrid. And they've just converted more than we have. I mean, really, it's been a tale of 2 teams being fairly incompetent in front of goal. It's been a very open game, but we've lost it. We're losing too many games to have a title push. We're flattering ourselves by staying in contention points-wise, but we're running out of games, and that gap's getting bigger all the time. And I said it last episode, I'll say it again today. I think that might be it. Let's go and win the Champions League instead, to at least bring some money in, so that we can bring some players in the summer and make sure we win it next year. Because no matter what, we move on next summer, unless we move on this summer. I know what I mean. Just the one... Oh, what happened to my voice? See, that's how upset I am about the Real Madrid game. So just the one change for the Arsenal game. Moldovan comes back into the team because he's fit-ish. Carvalho drops out to left back, and Nuhad drops out of the team entirely. We are at home. I was going to say, I thought we were going to Arsenal in the Champions League and attacking them. That would be crazy talk. Arsenal are the favourites for the game, though. And this is going to give us a lot of information. And late February is very late to still be information collecting, but it shows you how this season's going compared to our other recent ones. But this is going to be a good indicator of how good Spanish football is in relation to English and German football. The more I think about it, the more I think the Champions League final last year was a bit of a fluke because we bottled it and went defensive. And if we'd have just gone there and attacked, we'd have battered them. And I think Spanish football as a whole might be being flattered by having the current European champions, because I think we might struggle a little bit against Arsenal. And Arsenal are a team who haven't won a Premier League for a long time. They're a long way behind the likes of Man City and Tottenham. Oscar's made it 1-0 though. There you go. If he was going to score against anyone, it would be against Arsenal. It's only his 4th goal of the season. I mean, it's such a poor goal return from Oscar for spending all that money on him in the summer. And it's another thing that's come up in the comments a couple of times now. Di Maria, who we had at Bayern Munich, had a £40 million release fee. We paid $80 million for Oscar. We could have signed Di Maria. We probably, for the price of Oscar, we probably could have signed Di Maria and Malyshev. Whoops. It's because Oscar was on my mind, because I signed him around about the time we played Turkey in the Euros with England. So he played in that game, and he played awfully. He wasn't in the game at all. And I thought, I remember you. Let's spend all my money on you. Oh, that's where this job will be defined. The decision to sign him rather than Di Maria plus a proper striker. Because I think with Di Maria and a real top-level striker in the team, I think we'd be comfortably clear at the top of the league. I don't think we're far away from being where we need to be. We're 2-0 up now against Arsenal, so all that nonsense about Spanish football against English football, there you go. That's putting that in its place. A title-challenging Spanish team apparently is still better than a top 4 Premier League team, as you would expect. Although Arsenal have got the chance to get back into the game here, and that was a cheeky little chip attempt that just sort of flicks onto the crossbar and bounces away. Really frustratingly, looking at those stats, yes, we've created a lot of chances again, had a lot of possession again. I think Arsenal have just come and parked the bus, which is weird. But we're going to take Moldovan off because he's still not fit. But we've not had a clear-cut chance today. So we've been clinical today. Against Real Madrid, we create 4 clear-cut chances and only convert 1 of them. Now we play Arsenal, score 2 goals without really creating a proper chance. I just wish we could find some consistency in that. And it's something that we've not really had all season. Going into the final 10 minutes, we'll take... I can't even remember. Who did I just take off? Was it Pirani or Umdouli? Probably Pirani, because Umdouli's doing splendidly, so I don't know why I'd take him off unless he was tired. That whole exchange was just on an autopilot, and I genuinely don't know what substitution I've just made. Let's find out. What did Kev just do? Kev took off Pirani and then swapped the 2 of them over. There you go. Wow. I think I need to go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon as well. Oh, what am I doing? I think we're going to beat Arsenal and keep a clean sheet, though, and that's the important thing. So Although we might have thrown La Liga away today, the Champions League is still on, even though we don't need to win it as part of the Expedition of Gold. But if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.